Hello, in 2014, there was a case that occurred on a small island in the Gulf of Thailand. Two British tourists went to a bar late at night and then disappeared without a trace until they were found the next morning. After the incident, numerous theories were proposed. The truth of the matter was shrouded in mystery like a fog enveloping the island, making it difficult to distinguish between reality and illusion. What happened on the island that day and what secrets remained hidden behind? Next, I will tell you about the mysterious story that unfolded in Thailand. The story takes place in Thailand, situated on the Indo-Chinese peninsula in the eastern part of the Gulf of Thailand. Thailand has a population of approximately 76 million people with over 700 years of history and culture. The tourism industry in Thailand is highly developed, contributing to 20% of the GDP and attracting a large number of tourists annually. Among them, some islands are famous tourist destinations. In the Gulf of Thailand, more than 400 kilometers south of the capital Bangkok, there is a small island called Koh Tao. The island is located 60 kilometers away from the mainland and is shaped like a turtle, so Koh Tao is also known as Turtle Island. Turtle Island, with an area of only 21 square kilometers, is the smallest among the famous tourist islands in Thailand. To the west of Turtle Island lies a beach named Sairee Beach, stretching 1.7 kilometers long. Sairee Beach is surrounded by palm trees and white sand, with crystal clear water, boasting a tropical climate suitable for year-round vacations. Alongside the beach, there are tall, majestic rock formations, behind which stand two rows of houses. Among them are some seaside resorts where tourists can sit on long chairs, admire the stunning seascape, stroll on the smooth sand, and snorkel to observe the coral reefs. However, few people know that in 2014, something unbelievable happened on the beautiful beach. On September 15, 2014, a Monday at 6:30 a.m., a female cleaner arrived at Sairee Beach to tidy up. Following her daily routine, she began cleaning from the pier and along the beach, heading towards the resort area. When she approached the rocky area, she was shocked to find a motionless woman lying on the beach. Not far away from her was also a man lying face down. Realizing something was amiss, she immediately called the police. Turtle Island is very small and has very few police officers on duty, so only a few were dispatched to the scene upon receiving the report. As more people headed to the beach in the early morning, the scarce police presence couldn't adequately protect the scene, resulting in certain clues being damaged. Around 11 o'clock, with reinforced support from the police, a helicopter arrived at the beach. 4.5 hours had passed since the couple was discovered. The police promptly sealed off the entire beach and pier. No one was allowed to leave the island. 30 meters behind the rocky area of the beach is the resort area. There was a girl lying beneath a rock, her lower body unclothed, with her upper body pulled up and injured on the head. 4 meters away from the girl, there was a man lying face down, with the waves crashing against him. On both his head and back, he had wounds scattered around the couple. The police found a pair of shorts, a t-shirt. Additionally, the man had 4 wounds on his back. Nearby on the beach, cigarette butts and footprints were discovered. DNA extracted from the cigarette butt belonged to an unidentified man. In the flower garden, 50 meters from the victims, the police found a hoe with bloodstains, and the blood was confirmed to belong to one of the victims. The estimated time of death for the couple was between 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the morning on the same day. Some foreign young men came to report to the police that their friend had gone missing. After verifying, the 2 victims found on the beach were indeed the missing individuals. The murdered girl was named Henna Witheridge, born in October 1990 in Hemsby, England. Coming from a wealthy family, her father managed a vacation rental management company, while her mother was a homemaker. Henna had 3 siblings and she was the youngest in the family. Not only was she academically gifted, but she also had diverse interests such as horseback riding and long-distance running. She was praised by many parents of her classmates. Henna graduated from the University of East Anglia and went on to pursue further studies at the University of Essex, one of the world's leading research universities. In 2014, when Hannah was 23 years old, she and 3 friends had planned to travel to Australia for their summer vacation, but due to financial issues, they decided to go to Thailand because it was more affordable. Upon learning that Hannah was going to Thailand, her mother was very worried about security and safety issues there. Hannah promised to call her mother every day, which reassured her. Later, Hannah's mother respected her children's decision and agreed to let her go with her friends. On September 12, 2014, Hannah and her 3 friends arrived at Turtle Island. They rented a room at the Sairee Beach resort and planned to stay a week on the island. Hannah kept her promise and called her mother to tell her all about her exciting travel experiences, such as snorkeling to observe coral reefs, swimming with schools of fish, sunbathing on the beach, and surfing. In the evening, she would go to the bar and join beach parties. The man murdered near Hannah was named David Miller, born in June 1989 in Jersey, a Channel island near France. David graduated from the University of Leeds with a degree in civil engineering, and later pursued a master's degree. He completed a 6-week internship at a mining company in Australia. David traveled to Southeast Asia with 2 friends and arrived at Turtle Island in August. They met Hannah and her friends at a party at the AC Bar on Sairee Beach on the evening of September 14. A friend of both told the police, "The last time I saw them was at the AC Bar on Sairee Beach, around 3 a.m. on September 15. Hannah was too drunk, so David escorted her back to the resort. Then they left the bar and disappeared. The examination results revealed that David and Hannah were both attacked on the head. David showed signs of drowning, with wounds on his hands indicating resistance. It's likely he had a fierce struggle with the assailant. Hannah was sexually assaulted before her death, and they found DNA samples of an unidentified man collected from her body. DNA sequencing tests indicated that the suspect was an Asian man, with DNA matching that of the hoe and cigarette butt found earlier. 2 days after the incident, the police collected footprints and DNA samples from 300 people, including the victim's friends, bartenders, and bar patrons, but none matched. The double homicide caused a significant shock to the tourism industry of Turtle Island and Thailand. The economy on the island relies heavily on tourism. The government was concerned that the incident would impact tourism and Thailand's international image. The island residents conveyed their condolences in English to the families of the couple. Together, the Turtle Island community sent prayers and expressed deepest sympathy from the bottom of their hearts to the friends and families of David and Hannah. In this time of sorrow, they urged the police to clarify the case as soon as possible. The pressure compelled the police to resolve the case quickly, but it also affected their investigation methods. A police spokesperson stated that immigrants on the island were considered the main targets of the investigation. There are 3,300 registered migrant workers on the island, mostly from Myanmar. However, in reality, there are nearly 2,000 undocumented immigrants, mostly from Myanmar. They hold low social status and can only perform low-skilled labor. Despite their strenuous work, their income here is higher than in their home country. Therefore, many are willing to cross the border to seek employment. Initially, the police suspected David's friend, Christopher Allen Ware. They traveled and lived together. The police suspected Christopher was a homosexual who had a romantic relationship with David. When David left the bar with Hannah, Christopher became jealous and killed them both. To substantiate their speculation, the police searched Christopher and David's room. They were surprised to find a pair of trousers with some bloodstains. Additionally, Christopher had a wound on his hand similar to David's, but DNA testing revealed that the blood on the trousers belonged to Christopher, while the wound on his hand occurred after the incident took place. Christopher's DNA didn't match that of the perpetrator, so the suspicion against him was ruled out. The police also extracted surveillance camera footage from around the crime scene, such as streets, restaurants, bars, and hotels. They observed that around 7 p.m. on September 14, Hannah, wearing a pink shirt and white skirt, appeared in the surveillance video with 3 friends at the Chopper Sport Bar, located approximately 1.2 kilometers from their resort. It's a popular local bar, especially favored by foreign tourists, as a nightlife hotspot. David, wearing a blue-gray shirt, appeared on camera around 7:47 p.m., walking with friends to the Chopper Sport Bar. That evening at the bar, David and Henna's groups met for the first time, and because they were both British, they quickly bonded and sat together, drinking and chatting. During their conversation, David and Henna discovered that they were not only compatriots but also staying at the same resort. Feeling a connection, they shared their travel experiences over the past few days and quickly became friends. That night, the two groups also took souvenir photos together. David shared that he had backpacked in several Asian and Australian countries. The purpose of their trip to Thailand this time was to experience the famous local Mid-Autumn Festival, also known as the Full Moon Party. The Full Moon Party is held annually on the night of the full moon, not on Turtle Island but on Pha Nan Island, located 35 kilometers to the southeast. Pha Nan Island is slightly larger than Turtle Island and is famous for its full moon party. On the night of the full moon, backpackers and electronic music enthusiasts from around the world gather on Pha Nan Beach to party. The tradition of the party is for everyone to apply fluorescent paint all over their bodies and dance wildly to electronic music under the moonlight. The Full Moon Party is renowned as one of the top 3 largest electronic music parties in the world. Although Turtle Island is smaller and less famous than Pha Nan Island, staying here is more relaxing and comfortable. The island boasts beautiful white sandy beaches, vibrant coral reefs, and a variety of diving activity. Additionally, there are many beach bars popular as resort destinations with various amenities. Around midnight that night, Henna and her 3 friends bid farewell to David and his group and left the Chopper Sport Bar first. Later, feeling not quite satisfied with the atmosphere, they decided to head to another bar called AC3, located only 300 meters away from their resort. Around 12:55 a.m., David left the Chopper Sport Bar alone to purchase a pair of sunglasses at a nearby convenience store and wore them on his shirt. Later, he returned to the bar around 1:56 a.m. David and his group continued to the AC3 bar to find Henna and her friends. Around 3 a.m., Henna told her friend that she was feeling a bit tipsy, so she would head back to the resort first. Then, Henna left the bar with David. It's worth noting that after checking the nearby surveillance footage, the police didn't see their images. It is speculated that they went to the beach and then circled back to the resort, which is why the cameras didn't capture their departure. Around 3 a.m., it was quite quiet outside, so no one witnessed what happened next to them. At 23:10, just before the incident occurred, surveillance footage captured 3 men on a motorcycle. Later, one of them entered a convenience store near the AC3 bar to buy cigarettes and beer. Around 3 a.m., surveillance cameras recorded the suspicious sight of a shirtless man heading toward Sairee Beach. An hour later, around 4 a.m., the camera once again captured the shirtless man running hastily. The police released the video footage and offered a reward of 700,000 baht for anyone who could provide information leading to the suspect, but no useful information was obtained. The bodies of Henna and David were brought back to their hometowns for burial. Henna's funeral was held at Mary's Church in Hemsby, England. At the request of Henna's family, hundreds of relatives and friends who attended the funeral were dressed in colorful and beautiful outfits to reflect Henna's vibrant youthfulness. When she was alive, Henna was a young, beautiful, intelligent, and lovely girl who always brought joy to everyone around her. David's funeral was held on Jersey Island. He was a talented and kind-hearted man, and everyone present felt saddened by his sudden departure. David's parents revealed that before the incident, David called them and said he would be returning home soon. They never expected that would be the last time they would hear their son's voice. David's father believes that when attacked, my son tried his best to protect Henna, but his strength failed. I believe my son is a hero. 2 weeks after the incident, on October 2, 2014, the news spread through Western media, and many expressed concerns about traveling to Thailand. The police announced the arrest of 3 suspicious men at the pier. They are the 3 men on motorcycles seen in the surveillance video on that night. According to the investigation, one of the three men is a local resident. He provided an alibi and was subsequently released. The other two are Zaw Lin and Wai Phio, both 22 years old, from the state of Ranake, Myanmar. They are illegal immigrants and work in a restaurant near the Sairee Beach. The police stated that the two individuals admitted to attacking the couple with a hoe and assaulting Hen Na. Their DNA matched the DNA found on Hen Na's body on the hoe, and the brand of cigarettes also matched the one they purchased at the convenience store that night. The next day, on October 3, 2014, the police brought the two suspects, Zaw Lin and Wai Phio, to the crime scene to recreate the incident, attracting a large crowd of curious onlookers. Many people gathered on the beach, and the police had to work hard to maintain order at the scene while the two suspects reenacted the entire process of their crime. Early on the morning of the crime, Zaw Lin, Wai Phio, and another friend went to Sairee Beach to see the sunrise. They sat under a palm tree, smoking cigarettes, drinking beer, and playing guitar. One of their friends became too drunk and said goodbye to them before heading home. Zaw Lin and Wai Phio continued drinking, and when Hen Na and David walked by, they thought they were about to witness something interesting. Seeing Hen Na and David smiling at each other, they got up and followed them, only to find them engaging in sexual activity on the rocky shore. One of them found a hoe in a nearby flower bed and swung it towards David. The other dragged David into the sea and held his head underwater until he became unconscious. They then surrounded Hen Na and began assaulting her before deciding what to do next. After smoking a few cigarettes, they attacked Hen Na with the hoe and fled the scene. A nearby resident reported that on the night of the incident, there was a beach party with around 50 attendees, and the atmosphere was lively, with the party lasting until early morning. This was when Zaw Lin and Wai Phio committed the crime. Despite the presence of people on the beach, no one noticed them. After reconstructing the case, the two suspects were transferred to a prison on Koh Samui Island on October 7, 2014. 5 days after their arrest, representatives from the Myanmar consulate came to interrogate Zaw Lin and Wai Phio. Surprisingly, both of them claimed innocence, stating that they only confessed because they were coerced and threatened by the Thai police, who threatened to throw them into the sea for the fish to eat if they did not admit guilt. Both of them continued to state that they were the individuals on the motorbike and went to the convenience store to buy refreshments, but they were not the shirtless men seen in the surveillance video. They recounted that early on the day of the incident, they went to Sairee Beach simply to drink, chat, and play the guitar, without engaging in any other activities. As we were preparing to leave, we saw a mobile phone on the beach but couldn't unlock it. The next morning, upon hearing about the murder case, we became very scared, so we threw the phone under the house. Indeed, that phone was found by the police to be David's phone. The Thai police firmly denied the accusations of the two suspects, stating that we had never coerced or harmed them. Furthermore, we have enough evidence to convict them even if they do not admit to their actions. So who is actually lying? Some believe there are too many suspicious points about the case. A witness stated that around 1 a.m., they saw David shaking hands with a man wearing a red t-shirt with the number 9 printed on the back. This lead provided by the witness has been confirmed to be accurate. Cameras nearby captured David interacting with that man, but the police have not disclosed his identity. Therefore, some suspect the man in question is related to the case. Meanwhile, during the police investigation, there was a man who appeared at the scene multiple times and stayed to observe the police investigation. The identity of that man is rumored to be the owner of the two bars that Hen Na and David visited that night. Some believe that man is the shirtless man in the surveillance video. Sean Magna, a 25-year-old man who claims to be a friend of David's, said that the perpetrator could be someone else. A week before the incident on September 9, he arrived at Turtle Island as a tourist to make a living, auditioning to sing at a bar on the island to cover his travel expenses. Once, while scrolling through Facebook, he happened to see David's post about going to Turtle Island, so Sean arranged to meet David on September 15. However, Sean overslept and missed the meeting with David. Upon learning of David's murder, he felt deeply saddened and regretful. A week after the incident, Sean was suddenly pursued by two unfamiliar men, prompting him to hastily run to a convenience store to seek refuge. The pursuers followed him and loudly accused Sean of being the perpetrator of David and Hannah's murder. Feeling frightened, he took out his phone, took photos of the two men, uploaded them online, and alerted the police. Shortly after, the two men left, and the police escorted Sean back to the resort. In an interview, Sean mentioned that the two men who chased him could be members of a local powerful gang. They might want to frame me as the culprit, so I feel the arrested suspects might have been falsely accused. After the interview, Sean left Turtle Island and boarded a flight back home. His departure sparked speculation about the case. Some people believe that the island is controlled by a criminal group hiding information about the real culprit, and local police may have colluded with them to cover up the perpetrator's crime. Prime Minister Prayuth Chan-o-cha made a controversial statement: "Tourists think Thailand is beautiful and safe, so they can do whatever they want, even wearing bikinis running around. Is it safe to wear bikinis? It may not look good." His statement was quickly condemned internationally, prompting him to issue an apology, stating, "I did not intend to ridicule or criticize anyone. I just wanted to remind people to be cautious in certain times and circumstances." The UK government expressed concerns about the Thai police investigation, although they were not allowed to assist in the investigation. Subsequently, Thailand allowed the UK to send an observation team consisting of a detective and a forensic expert to Thailand. However, this team was only permitted to stay on Turtle Island for 2 hours and had no opportunity to interact with the suspects. Some details of the case have also never been publicly disclosed by the Thai police. They stated that representatives from the UK and Myanmar governments were restricted in their observation and had to respect our procedures. In July 2015, the trial for the case took place at the Kon Samui Provincial Court, where Zaw Lin and Wai Phio were charged with 5 offenses, including intentional homicide, and the trial lasted over 5 months. On December 24, 2015, the court pronounced the 2 defendants guilty of all 5 charges and sentenced them to death. The case attracted attention from many countries. The verdict sparked outrage among the people of Myanmar, who strongly urged the Thai government to release the 2 Myanmar citizens. Many believe these 2 have become scapegoats for the Thai government's desire to quickly conclude the case. Thai Prime Minister Prayuth Chan-o-cha stated that people need to respect the verdict, and the Thai judicial system will not yield to public pressure. After the incident, Laura Witheridge, Hannah's sister, posted on social media that the Thai police had conducted an insincere investigation. Subsequently, a hacker attacked several Thai government websites to criticize the framing of the 2 Myanmar citizens as the guilty parties. After the verdict, the defense team appointed by Myanmar filed an appeal, arguing that the Thai police had used falsified evidence against the 2 defendants during the investigation process. They accused the police of lacking transparency, not promptly disclosing key leads, and resorting to coercion. The collection of evidence at the crime scene, such as the DNA of the victims and suspects, violated international standards. The crime scene was destroyed, and evidence was improperly preserved. Additionally, the defense lawyers questioned the DNA match on physical evidence with the DNA of the 2 defendants, but the Thai Supreme Court upheld the original verdict. 6 years after the incident on August 16, 2020, commemorating the 68th birthday of the Thai king, he granted amnesty to 1,000 prisoners, including 2 suspects in the case. Their sentences were reduced from death penalty to life imprisonment. Following the case, the number of tourists visiting Koh Tao significantly declined, but this situation did not last long. Over time, the case of David and Hannah also gradually faded into obscurity. What people didn't know was that after that bizarre incident on the beautiful little island, there were 7 more mysterious deaths of foreign tourists. Most of these foreign tourists died under mysterious circumstances on Koh Tao. The Thai police all believe that they brought their deaths upon themselves, and no one was convicted after the incident. The waves of the sea have washed away the bloodstains on Sairee Beach. But it is believed that the secrets on the island will one day be exposed. Since then, the tourist paradise has been given the name Death Island over time. Tourism helps us unwind and relax after days of stressful study and work, allowing us to enjoy the exciting journeys of life and even broaden our knowledge of new lands we have never visited before, all providing memorable experiences. However, let's be cautious and vigilant against potential risks that may arise around us at any time. The video ends here, and I'll see you in the next ones. Goodbye.